Welcome to the first episode of the second season of Bosryers. Today we visit the terror track Atsegat. This episode is proudly brought to you by GWM Haval in Centurion.
Hey, how's it guys? Welcome to Bosryers. Now, today we are here at Atsegat, and as you can see with my little beast on this obstacle called Brickmerk, I almost made a Brickmerk, and I also almost see my gat here. So, watch this episode to see how it all happened.
Atsegat is situated 10 kilometers out of Brits on the Brits-Tabazimbi road. Not only is Atsegat extremely beautiful, but you also have various activities from the bar to fishing to camping and 4x4. With the campsite being directly next to the Crocodile River, fishing is so nice and so easy. However, yes, there is crocodiles. The 4x4 trail is divided into 4 sections. You have an easy section next to the river, then you have the river crossing, you have an island on the other side of the river, and you have the beautiful mountain drive. We all got together for our drivers meeting in the bush bar. Wonder Shield, one of the proud sponsors that came in and sponsored 2 of our drivers with these high quality bonnet shields, light shields and mini shields. To get yourself some of these quality shields for your vehicle, contact Wonder Shield at 011 334 5311 or 068 125 7989. Today's episode is brought to you by GWM Haval in Centurion. And we are featuring the 2-liter automatic GWM-P series. With an awesome feature called Remote Start, you can warm up your bucky while enjoying your coffee. With 120 kilowatts of power and 400 Newton meters of torque, you can go anywhere with this vehicle. On this terror track today, this standard 4x4 vehicle performed extremely well. To book a test drive on this awesome vehicle, contact Rian, Rika or Kagiso at Haval GWM Centurion 012 653 4198. Now it's time to meet the team. First we have Miller with his grey Rhino. Then we have myself, Etienne, with Baby Hulk. Eugene with a Monster Bishi. Henk with a blow buffel. Etienne with his pipe car. Dion with his white Suzuki Jimny. Peter with Lowlux.
Lekker, lekker.
Rian with the GWM B series. Moritz with his white pony. Gerard with his Isuzu. Ronnie with Monster. Kenny with the epic bug.
Lekker julle.
Vic with his heeltyd speeltyd Pajero.
That's easy.
We have Danley with the Nissan Navara. Somo with his white Jeep. We started the day off on the stereo track with the easy section right next to the river bank. We had this nice trail, and oh boy, on this first obstacle we really underestimated the difficulty of this slippery surface.
So Etienne, what happened, man?
Well, if you look here, rock slider got stuck on a rock, so well, I'm going nowhere.
Upon arriving at this specific obstacle, there was two options. Either you take the left or you take the right.
Okay, so Etienne, what's the plan of action?
Well, what I tried now is just to lift the vehicle so I can get one of the tracks underneath the wheel, but the jack actually sunk down into the ground, so we managed to lift a little bit, so I'm going to try to reach it out. Reverse. Come on, you guys. Here in.
Eugene took the Monster on a more extreme line through this obstacle and slipped into the ruts. Etienne used his pipe car to try and recover the monster bishi, and in the process, the problem escalated.
Alright, so guys, as you can see, this beast of a colt is standing on an extremely wrong angle. Now what happened is he came in, the grass is long, he didn't see the correct line, and it simply slided towards the river. Luckily it stopped in time, but it's in such a way that it can't get out immediately. Eugene, tell me quickly, what are you guys going to do now to recover?
We're quickly gonna hook the winch and winch from the back, so just so that it don't slide into the river.
Okay, so it's basically to stabilize.
Stabilize.
Alright, cool. Alright, so in this slidey position that we are now, we're going to do a double pull, one from the front to physically pull the colt out. We're using Miller's Jeep, and then we're going to use Hiltate's Speeltate's winch on the back side just to make sure that the back of the colt doesn't slide and make the situation worse than what it is already. Alright guys, so as you can see, the monster bishi did not only slide into the ruts, he's actually halfway over a tree log. So meaning this recovery is definitely going to be more exciting than what we originally thought.
Surprising enough, with my Nissan being lifted and all, I still got stuck. But just look how this GWM standard 4x4 take this obstacle so naturally easy. Joining the convoy a little bit late, we have Johannes with his silver Jeep.
To me. Yes. Fine, you're fine.
Keep your wheels straight, don't turn yet. Don't turn yet. I'll show you when to turn.
Okay, go.
Yes, come.
That's it, you're over. Turn.
Right, ready to reverse a bit? Turn your steering wheel all the way to the
Check
left.
out clip after me.
I'll just stand at the back. You don't have too much space, so come back.
Again? Okay.
Oh, stop. Right, turn right and go forward now. Now go be easy.
And now it's time to cross the river to go to the island.
Okay, so Miller, we're at the river crossing now. Are you going to be taking us through?
Yes, I hope we're gonna get through. It's quite a tricky river section. I drowned myself or the vehicle twice previously, so let's hope it doesn't happen again. Yeah, so let's see what happens. This river section is also weather dependent. If there were a lot of rain and they open the sluice at Hartbeespoort Dam, you can't cross this river section because the river flow is too strong for that. But luckily today it seems low enough for us to go over. And I think all the vehicles will be able to cross today.
Hi guys, so we're in the river now. It's damn slippery and rocky.
With a high and strong water flow, it's really extremely difficult to see the correct line. And clearly, I took the wrong line.
We need to stay within the poles. That's where the lowest water flow is, and they build a little bit of road with rocks at the back, so you need to stay within the poles.
With the slippery rocks and deep ruts, I punched a hole right through my exhaust and created some performance issues.
Right guys, so we got stuck in the river, and thanks to Marnus, my co-driver, Dion and Miller, I'm out. Thank you guys.
Reguit. Ja. Okay, ander kant toe. Sharp, yeah, sharp. Just do what you're doing.
Alright guys, so Miller recovered us and we're getting through the river now. And I must say, as difficult as this obstacle to cross the river is already, Miller went to reverse it out after he recovered us. That's not something anyone can do. And on top of that, the river wants to take me along. Stop.
Both Marnus and Miller came to enjoy the day with us and ended up working extremely hard to make sure everyone else on this track today is recovered and safe. Thank you guys. You guys are true legends.
Ja.
Natural tracks.
Etienne. Gaan terug, dan kom je hierop. So.
Well, to get out of the river, we had to cross this muddy incline section, and with each car passing by, it became worse and more slippery. And the result was a lot of recoveries. And clearly, out of all the people in the convoy, I was the only one who chose the wrong line, because the rest of the convoy, everyone went through the river quite easily. Coming out of the river now is two chimneys directly after each other. First we have Henk with Blue Buffel, and then we have Dion coming with his white chimney. Now look at the difference that only the tires makes. The Blue Buffel has got all-terrain tires, and the white chimney has got mud terrains. With huge wheels, mud terrains, heavy weight and a powerful engine, this exit is no challenge for the Monster Vision. Now we have Johannes with his silver Jeep attempting this exit. Unfortunately not getting far the first time. He's struggling for the second time, and then we have the white pony trying to pull him out, but going nowhere.
Go! Whoa, 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 whoa!
After we attempted the recovery with White Pony, Miller decided, well, let him take the Jeep for a spin, and it was only a spin, nothing else. And then we decided, let's recover the Jeep with the Jeep, and that was successful in the end.
Taxi in! Yeah. That's it! Yeah, okay!
And this is Gerard Libbe all the way from Meyerton with his Isuzu, coming out quite strongly, coming out with power, coming out with momentum, and unfortunately breaking a CV joint in the process.
Woo! Kan je pinakkel nu? Oh ja. Lekker zat. Kijk, je bent
With the Isuzu not having any front end pulling at the moment, this recovery only took 1 hour. And this is Somo coming in with his white Jeep, coming in with a lot of confidence, but by this time, this muddy exit just was too much. And thank you to Eugene with the Monster Bishi, who also recovered Somo. Last in the convoy, we have Etienne with his pipe car. And just look at how spectacular he takes this muddy obstacle. Where everyone struggled, he just went cruising through.
Alright guys, so on the island we came across our first obstacle. This is extremely loose sand, steep downhills, short turns, tree stumps that you need to be careful for, etc. And then there's also some rocks and so forth. So coming down into a camber, sharp turn, loose sand, sliding a little bit, but still doing it quite nicely. So this is quite a difficult obstacle. I can actually smell my clutch or tires. I'm not sure which one of the two it is, but
stuck again. Anyway, I've got Dion, who's going to recover me with his white Jimny, and hopefully we'll do it better soon. With the Jimny being extremely lightweight, it's going absolutely nowhere. So the Jimny got out of the way and Moritz brought his white pony and he saved the day. After a long while of struggling, eventually I decided, well, I've got rock sliders, let's use them. So I gave a bit of momentum and got through this obstacle with the rock sliders being the heroes. With a huge ground clearance of this beautiful white pony, you can see how this obstacle is no match for him. At first we all thought that Dion took the wrong line, but the narrow and short wheel-based vehicle actually got through this obstacle quite beautifully. By the time Ronnie came through with his monster, we had a lot of hands on deck. And with a lot of road building and so on, he still didn't get through. And then Ronnie decided it's time to bring Lolux into play to pull him through. After a lot of fun on the island, we decided to go back over the river to enjoy lunch. And while most of the guys went over the river, there were still some guys who decided they're not going over the river and decided in that time of space they're going to enjoy the beautiful scenic drive at Atzegat. During lunchtime, the GWMP series was on show for everyone to see how extremely beautiful and well made this vehicle is. This vehicle has got an extremely luxurious interior. With hand-stitched leather, well-designed infotainment system, heated seats, cameras all around the vehicle, you are ensured to have a ride of your life.
Hy het net afgegly.
While having lunch, we had a discussion of a vehicle that rolled from the mountaintop the day before. The vehicle rolled 7 times and came to a standstill against 2 trees. A few days later, the vehicle was recovered using 2 chain blocks. When the recovery was done, the owner just installed a new battery and drove the vehicle back home.
Okay, so after a full fun day of pleasure over the river and on the island, we came to the mountain now, and this is the first obstacle on the mountain we're taking now. Not that extreme yet. However, when you start, you need to commit to go out all the way. Otherwise you might get stuck in the middle, and that's going to cause problems.
This specific obstacle was really quite interesting. Even though it's still one obstacle with a lot of ruts, a lot of axle twisting and so forth, there was still various line options, and each driver literally took a different type of method to get to the top, and this made this obstacle one of the most interesting ones we ever faced. Miller taking this obstacle first, going to where only the big wheels can go.
Right guys, so we came to an extreme obstacle on top of the mountain. No idea what this obstacle is named, but it's quite bouncy, it's quite bumpy. Loose rocks, loose sand, quite deep ruts.
At first we thought on my vehicle that we broke off a CV, but luckily it was only the 4 bolts holding the front prop shaft to the transfer case. Something that I feel is worth mentioning on Etienne's pipe car is this pipe car does not have any diff locks, so both diffs are open, and he's doing extremely well with the axle twisting and the flexing on this vehicle. With limited traction on this obstacle, you can see how the one camera guy actually had to run for cover as the stones came flying. Dion taking a crawling method on this obstacle, and as you can see, the traction control really plays a big part in this challenge. Peter coming in with low locks, and he did not use the diff lock on this obstacle, using a bit of momentum and getting this vehicle to bounce quite nicely. And Kenny coming in with his epic buck with this steep incline challenge. The little 1800 Golf engine without any low range and only rear wheel drive does take a bit of a beating on this obstacle. However, Kenny does not back out of the challenge and he pushes it all the way through. Moritz coming in with a white pony, showing his appreciation with the sponsorship on his vehicle from Wonder Shield. He takes the crew from Wonder Shield for a spin. Well done, Moritz. Somo coming in with his white Jeep, and also the traction control making this obstacle a possibility for him. Johannes coming in with his silver Jeep, doing his absolute best also to do a crawling method, getting traction here and there, still enjoying every moment, and I love the open sunroof. That's legendary. Vic coming in with heeltyd, speeltyd, taking no chances, pushing momentum and having a jol while it's heeltyd, speeltyd.
Right guys, so my first attempt didn't go so well because apparently I didn't have any front wheel traction, I was only on rear wheel drive. But thanks to my bush mechanics friends, that problem was solved, so let's take this obstacle. Like a boss.
And now we are at the famous brickmark obstacle here by Atzegat. The beginning of this obstacle is extreme as well, having two huge steps while driving a 30 to 35 degree incline. That is no child's play.
Jy het nie geen pressure op jou sit nie, maar as jy hier opneek, dan is jy famous hoor.
Jy word gemis.
And at this point is where I bumped my bumper on a huge rock, resulting in the bumper moving back and holding my wheels.
Now guys, thanks to my bush mechanic friends, Vic specifically, this baby will be sorted out now and hopefully we'll see the rest of the track at the end. Alright, so we're here at Brickmark now and this is where hopefully I'll come out. As you can see, my seatbelt is stuck because of the huge angle that we're on, so the rest of this obstacle is without a seatbelt.
And Peter, being the leader, he is standing right in front of me, giving me lines as I came up. He moved out of the way and unfortunately I did bump him with the back of my vehicle, and right after that I threw him with rocks. Rarig, sorry my oom.
Gaan dit nou rechts of links? Okay. So, now we need to continue to the right. So we're not done with Brickmark yet. I'm going nowhere at the moment. Woo! Damn, that was not easy. Thrilling, Papa.
Moritz coming in with a white pony also on this brickmark obstacle. Learning from my mistakes, he knows what to do now. And he makes this obstacle also look a bit easy. However, he did push the limits of his vehicle. And Dion with his white chimney also up for the challenge. Not driving a vehicle that is actually made for this obstacle, but he made a way, and as the bush mechanic friends, we helped him over those first 2 huge steps.
Klein bietjie terug, nie te veel nie, dan bump jy op. Net daar.
Okay, my plan is pop.
Wat is er om daar te stap? Ek kom help skoot.
After clearing that second step, Dion started making his way to the top of the mountain and came to a standstill. Luckily, he kept his foot on the throttle and waited for the traction control to kick in to make the rest of the obstacle a possibility.
Hey, daar is hy! Wat op kloppie!
Net so, net so.
And as we all know Kenny by now, backing out of a challenge is not his thing. Coming in with an epic buck, pushing once again the limits of his vehicle.
That's a mountain side.
And unfortunately, at this moment, the steering rod bent. Like you know the bush mechanics by now, we're not letting him get away that easy. We bent his steering rod back in position and let him try again. With his second attempt coming up this brickmark obstacle, everyone knows how Kenny flies his buggy and moved out of the way, clearing the space for no reason whatsoever. Bending the steering rack for the second time, Kenny was out of the race. And taking this obstacle last, we have Peter coming in with low lucks. These huge steps, not so huge for the huge wheels. Going up this mountain like a boss, getting almost stuck in the middle and continuing to keep throttle going out. Well done, Peter.
Lekker looks! Yeah!
And for our next adventure, we went to Waterford in the Northern Cape. Stay tuned to watch some of these epic scenes. Thanks for watching our first episode of our second season. If you would like to have your company as a sponsor on our adventures, please make contact with me.
Right guys, so we are the Bosryers, and we would like to invite you to join us with your 4x4 vehicle on our next expedition. So make contact with me, and we'll see you on the next one.
Ry hier in die bosveld en die vuurtjie brand te mooi. Die songesig oor die rotse klip en natuur wat ons uitnooi. Ons ry waar hande net kan droom en die son sak in die bos. Ons bosryers het modderbloed en ons kry jou in die bos.